Hi everybody, how are you? It's Jay Victoria, the Energy Queen, and this is the update for January 5th. Every Sunday night I do energy updates, and it's kind of like an energetic weather report for what's going on. And today I'm really excited to talk to you. Thanks so much for all my new subscribers being here. I hope you are enjoying being here, and feel free at any time to let me know any questions you have about energy in the comments. I love responding to questions that you guys have and showing up with the content that helps you the most. Because the truth is, I have a lot of answers, but I need to hear, like, what do you need help with? That really helps me to help you. So, Jerry Maguire, help me help you. So, yeah, I have a lot to say on this energy update. Stick with me, there's a lot to hear. I just have so much to say. So the first thing is that there is a shift that's happening. I'm feeling it in the energetic and the religious spheres coming together. And what does this mean? What I just said? What does that mean? What I mean is that when we're talking about energy in the energy world, which I think is the good thing about talking about energy in general and not talking about religion in particular, is that everyone is included. And I really like that myself. I like that aspect of energy. That's why I'm called Energy Queen. Energy is something that everybody feels, everybody experiences, no matter who you are, how you identify, your background, where you're from. It's something just very common that we all are a part of. And I really see the energy world like nature. It's just an extension of God. It's full of his personality, his creativity. He created it and all the functions and laws within it. And it's exactly like nature has all these laws, and science, like, I don't know if science has laws, nature has laws, but anyway, science discovers those laws and just makes discoveries about nature for sure. But the energy world is exactly the same. And it is such a big part of your life and what shows up in your life and how you feel. And you are energy. So it's a really, really big deal to understand energy to live a better life. And I think that's the good thing about energy, is that it's something that you don't have to believe a certain thing. You don't have to be from a certain background or anything like that. It's like very open and accessible to everybody. Again, I love that. And then we've got religion. We've got different belief systems. We've got different figures in religious history. And, that feels so different, doesn't it? It's like it just feels so different. And what I'm starting to find is happening more and more. I'm getting pulled in this direction. And I just encourage you to have a really open mind with it, whether you're super religious or super into energy, that these things can come together. And why I'm saying that for this energy update is because I think that that is an important step for a lot of us right now, to propel you forward in a faster way. Because this is the truth as I know it. And if I'm going to show up here and talk to you, like, what is the point of me, like, holding back, right? There's no point at all for me to not, if you're taking the time to watch this, to just tell you the best that I can, what I know and what's helped me. And the truth that I know is that from having the gift of seeing the energy world visually, which is something that God gave me, or, whatever you want, like the bigger picture gave me that ability. I learned so much from that. And one thing that I've learned from that is that in the energy world, like I just described, nature is full, it's created by God and full of these laws, and the energy world is the same. We just can't all see it with our physical eyes, but it's there. Just as real, and even more real in some ways because it's supernatural. It's more vivid and more alive, and it's a lot. It's more expansive than a lot more things can happen there, is what I'm saying, and a lot faster. And the laws that we're bound to in the physical world aren't there. So it's a really, really amazing place. And in that realm, one of the biggest things about that realm that they know and they function upon, and they is just a clear fact, is that the resurrection it's the biggest deal. That's the biggest deal in the energy world to this day, right now. That's the thing. And I've always grappled with these questions myself because I've always tried to have an open mind. I grew up Catholic. I didn't really have much of a relationship with Jesus, I'll be honest. It felt like something other people talked about more than I understood. But I was really open. You know, when I was 14, I had a pen pal in Turkey, and she used to write me long, long letters about being Muslim. And I was just like, that's so cool. I love hearing about, you know, different ways of connecting to spirit. I just thought it was beautiful. And I still feel that way. I did a travel study before I moved here to New York in 2014. I did a travel study here about Muslim art and architecture, and we went to mosques here in the city, and we, you know, learned all kinds of stuff. And I just thought it was cool. It was like, that's so cool. And there's so much history behind it, and there's so much tradition, and it's from a whole different part of the world. And I just, you know, I think it's cool. And then, you know, the Jewish culture. So I think that's really cool. I love the language, and it's just interesting, you know, to me. And I've always been really attracted to Buddhism and Buddhist principles, and I think the Dalai Lama is so cool. I used to read books on Buddhism when I was a teenager too. A lot of seeking happening as a teenager. But it confused me when I started to get older, and I was like, oh, people are like fighting wars over this stuff. Like, people are like, I think especially like, I think 9/11, when that happened, I was like, oh my God, like it was just like, it's difficult because none of us has like the answer, you know. None of us can really explain how all these different beliefs can fit together, and we don't have to fight about them, and there isn't one that's right and the other one's wrong. And that's a question I don't feel like I feel like there's some kind of mystery to this, to be honest, that I don't know if it's being hidden from us for a good reason, but like, it just doesn't feel clear. And I never felt comfortable with the idea of telling other people they were wrong either. So I just wanted to say all of that to preface more of what I'm going to reveal to you about what I've seen in the energy world, because this is, again, like just what I've seen. And I know saying something like that makes it sound like, well, guys, this is the way it really is and everyone else is wrong. But I just wanted to say, like, that's not my intention here, is to say other people are wrong, or other traditions or cultures or belief systems are wrong. But it surprised me, I will tell you, as a, you know, somebody who grew up Catholic, it really surprised me that Jesus is real and is who he really is. And the thing that I learned and I still learn all the time is that there are stories about Jesus. There are religions based upon him. There are people who believe in him. There are a lot of things like that. But the direct experience of you and him is what all of these things are trying to tell you. And the truth is, there aren't words that are ever going to be enough. It's like trying to describe an experience of love. And some people throughout history have been good at that. Like, maybe you could say Shakespeare kind of got, but even it's, you never quite get the full expression, because it's something that it really is beyond words, something you have to feel. And that's why there's so much art and so much music and just so much dedicated to Jesus, that it's like we'll never quite, we're just trying to express something that is really real, that you can feel, but you have to feel for yourself, is what I'm saying. And I myself have held back talking about Jesus super alive, super openly. I have never hid the fact that I work with Jesus. My energy work is with him. It is using the blood of Christ. That's how I clear negative energy. I never like not said that, but I've also found that like I haven't really made that super obvious at the same time. And why am I explaining all this to you in the energy update? It's because I think that this is a missing piece for a lot of people, and it's something that we resist. And I want you to think about why you resist the idea of like being loved by the Creator, of him sending his son to take on all the negative energy, die, and then overcome all the negative energy forever, and that's just available for you to access. And the thing like is that, you know, I am an energy expert. I work with energy. I see energy. Like, prayer is an energetic process. These things that, you know, even the Catholic Church, a lot of the things in the Mass, and they're all energetic processes, and everything in the energy world is an energetic process. And so when we separate energy and the idea of energy with Jesus and you know, some of the more religious, you could say, like, ideals, like, we're not getting the full effect. So if you're interested in energy, I just want to say, for the truth that I know from watching the energy world, that again, I haven't always just shown up and said, because I didn't want to alienate people. I didn't want people to feel like, oh God, she's talking about something I don't agree with, or I don't know about that, or I felt judged by people who use that name. I never wanted anybody to feel like that. But the very truth of the truth is that in the energy world, from what I've seen, and I'm just telling the truth as I know it, Jesus is there. He's the king of the universe. He is the resurrection is it's just the thing. It's everybody knows that, you know, in the energy world. And for us to admit something like that, like, it does sometimes create struggle for us here on Earth. And it's not always easy, but it's just like, that's the path that he invites us on. And for me, that looks really unique. It is a really unique journey, because I'm a feminine energy expert as well. Like, and God is always teaching me about the feminine. One thing that I've discovered about the feminine is that it is the Holy Spirit. They're the same thing. Feminine energy and the Holy Spirit, as far as I know, they are the same thing. And that is 1/3 of the identity of God. So it is a big deal. And then you see so many women in the world wanting more feminine energy. How do I connect to my feminine energy? Well, you know, I love coaching women on that and helping women with that. But like, do you see how if we're leaving out the fact that it's the Holy Spirit, and we're leaving out the resurrection, we're leaving out you connecting with the energy of resurrection, the process could be slower. And from my experience, from what I've done in my life, the energetic processes and your connection to Jesus, those two things, like, you can go anywhere with those two things. And I want you to hear me out. If you're getting your energy cleared, you're doing energy work and all these things, it's amazing, and you can have so much done, and you can work with different people, and, you know, you can get coaching, you can get all kinds of things, and you can do a lot of self-development and learning and reading and all that stuff. But if you're leaving out Jesus, it's like you're literally not going as far as fast as you could. Like, it's just the way it is, because he is the energy of resurrection. And that's what you're trying to do when you're self-improving. You're trying to not be the old version of you anymore. You're trying to literally resurrect from everything that happened in your past. Like literally imagine yourself drawing a line in the middle of yourself and saying, I'm leaving everything behind today and I am resurrecting tomorrow, or not even tomorrow, right now. I am resurrecting into that version of myself. And what I found is if you try to do it without Jesus, who is the resurrection and who set up the energy of resurrection in our entire universe, that's what you're trying to access, but you're trying to do it without, right? Like the creator of that, then like, it's not easy. And I myself have had a lot of wake up calls recently like that. I just can't fucking do it, without him. I can't. And I know if I can't, it's probably the same for you. It's probably the same for everybody. So I want you to question these things. Like why resist? Like what is in the way of you and Jesus? Like I want you to really think about that. I think it's really personal for us. And I have been very careful about talking about these things. And I know he understands this. Like that there are a lot of people in this world who use his name to judge other people. And ironically, that drives people away from him. That's why for me, where I got my actual faith was from connecting to his energy. Specifically for me, it was learning about something called the divine mercy, which is something really special. And so a nun named Saint Faustina in the 1930s in Poland, this really happened. He started appearing to her and she kept a diary. You can read the diary. It's available. I'll even link it in the description if you want to look up the website. But he commissioned her to make a painting of him because most of the depictions of Jesus we see are like of him literally dying, right? But that wasn't that wasn't all that happened. He died and we're grateful, but like he resurrected. And from the energy of resurrection that I've learned, it's like not only was it instant, it was like a pop culture moment. You know how we love those pop culture moments where like somebody has a comeback, Why are we so crazy about that? Because that is the energy of resurrection. And we want to do that in our lives. And that is like, we're obsessed with resurrection, you guys. Like new, think about how the word new is so attractive in advertising. And every day of your life, this is what you want. Trust me. That's what you want. And he can make it so much easier for you because he's the one who did it. And he's good also. He's good. He loves you. And he's supernatural. He can do things that you can't. That's kind of a big deal. That's kind of a big asset to have, right? Somebody who can do anything on your team. Like you need that. I need that, right? We all need that. But the divine mercy was, so he appeared to Saint Faustina and he wanted her to have a picture or a painting made of him with his arms outstretched and two rays of light coming from his heart, one blue and one red. And they represented the water and the blood, because when he was on the cross and he died, they cut him and water and blood miraculously, like in two streams, flowed out of him. And he suffered a lot. That's an understatement for us. But he did it with so much mercy for us. And still, to this very moment, that mercy is very much alive. It's unfathomable. That's the words that St. Faustina uses, it's unfathomable how he could have so much mercy for us. When you think about, I know, not only what we've done in our lives, but what goes on in the world, It's pretty extraordinary. And the divine mercy is really what pulled me in to understand him and to connect with him, specifically by looking at that image, by praying to that image. You can Google it, you can order a copy. Something that happened when I was younger and really going through a hard time, my mom ordered a giant poster of that image and put it in our kitchen. And we were all like, wow. People used to make fun of it. I never made fun of it. But it was like a big poster. But looking back, that was really smart of her, because it's a powerful image. And when I was really sick and dying from Lyme disease in my 20s, which is something that happened to me, I prayed to that image after I had tried everything possible, every doctor, everything, for years, and nothing worked. I didn't even know what was wrong with me. I was suffering really badly, really badly. And I prayed to that image on my knees on the floor. I cried, and I just said, if you want me to feel this way for the rest of my life, okay, I will keep living. But I knew there was something he could do that I couldn't do. And I just invite you to be open to that idea today in your life, that, like, it's a shame for you to not have a connection with Jesus and the resurrective energy because of people who have been assholes in your past. Like people who have judged you using Jesus, or people who turned you off to Jesus because of the way they behaved, or whatever happened that made you not want to connect to him. Like, I'm calling you out on that right now. Like, it's a shame that you lose the connection with your creator and somebody who can literally work miracles in your life, for you to not experience those miracles. That's like, I don't talk about the devil a lot, but that's what he wants, is for there to be some dumbass excuse, like, right? From some dumbass, like, situation or whatever somebody said, to keep you from your, like, own resurrection. Come on. No, we're not doing that this lifetime, right? We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that this lifetime. So I invite you to be really open. And I don't want to be another person telling you, hey, you got to believe in Jesus. Or it's more like, hey, you got to believe in Jesus. It's more like, really think about this. And the only way, I know this from personal experience, and having had a lot of people shame me into thinking that you can't shame people into having faith. I know that from personal experience. Can't do it. You will drive them away. You might be able to make them go to church, but you won't be able to give them actual faith. The way you get actual faith is you connecting to that energy, which is real and available to you right now, in every single instant that you're alive. That energy is there. I will tell you that. It's in the energy world. He's the king of the energy world. Just the way it is. That's what I've seen. And again, I'm not trying to alienate anybody or tell anybody they're wrong, but just that's what I've seen. Like, that's, and I think maybe we have different names for that, or, again, I don't have that answer. And I think all beliefs are truly beautiful, and all traditions and all cultures. But in the energy world, that is what I've seen. And I don't think it would feel good to me to not literally, like, confess that and admit that. And why I'm also talking about this is because somebody recently, this has happened periodically, but not a lot, but sometimes people have come at me really judgmental for doing energy work, and they use the name Jesus. And I just don't like that, because, again, don't use Jesus to judge people. Like, come on, again, like when he came to Earth, he was the coolest dude. He's the coolest dude. He is acceptance. He is love. That's what he is. So if you're using that name and combining that name with fear of any kind, that's not who he is. And fear is negative energy. So if we're talking about evil or demonic energy, well, fear is demonic energy, you could say then. So if you're using Jesus to perpetuate fear, it just doesn't make sense. And that bothered me. You know, it bothers me when people use his name to almost perpetuate the devil. Like that's bothersome to me, right? Because again, when you connect to his energy, you know, you will learn what he's like. You will feel, trust the energetic process. There's an energetic process when you as a spirit open up to that you will feel the frequency of who he is. You will feel answers coming to you. I'll just describe what it looks like because I can see things happening sometimes, and I will see light coming into me. Right? When we're talking about having clear energy, more healthy energy, like there's so much light that comes into you when you connect to Jesus, when you also ask for things. You should ask him for things like you would ask a person. And the language of the energy world is belief. And in the Bible, it says that all the time. It's very true that when you ask, believe. So if you want to like turn up the volume on your prayer, make the light like stronger, make it more obvious. It's like the words and the ideas will be heard better when you believe more. So it's like you will find your own shorthand with this. But again, like I really encourage you to let go of anything that's holding you back from doing this. Like, oh, it's too religious, and it's too that, and I'll be this type of person, and you know, like kind of just like let all that go and just be like, this is like my birthright, right? Like this is like something that I deserve. And imagine having somebody on your side who can, again, do the impossible, who can solve problems that you can't solve. And imagine really giving those things to him and energetically take it and give it to him. And I've been practicing that more lately, and I found that is really, really a real energetic process as well. None of these energetic processes, by the way, are foreign to you. What I'm describing is something that your soul knows. So I know that, and I am confident that the things that I'm telling you like are more like reminders, because you're from the energy world originally, so you know all these things. I'm just like reminding. But the energetic process of giving, when they say give it to Jesus, even I was like, what does that mean? But what it means is you literally feel and you think about what is bothering you, and then you connect to him. And to connect to him, all you do is you bring your awareness outward, and you just sort of like send up the signal like, hey, I'm looking for you. And then he, because he is so merciful, will come instantly. I actually just saw a light. It's like a lightning rod and lightning. That's what it's like. And then he'll come and you just say, I'm giving this to you. And that is the inscription he had St. Faustina put at the bottom of that image I described, the painting of Divine Mercy. Jesus, I trust in you. Those were the words. And why he wants us to trust in him is because that is also an energetic process. If you can't trick the energy world either, I want to say, so you can't pretend you're believing, you can't pretend you're looking for him. You have to really do it. And another energetic process that you can't fake, you really have to do it. So sometimes these two things take practice, is trusting him. And it's like you need to trust him to be able to give him those personal struggles that you're having. He's somebody that you build trust with as well. And he is trustworthy. He'll show you that he's trustworthy. When you ask him for something, genuinely ask, believing, you know, even if you just open up to him at all, I swear he's going to show up. And that's exactly how I got my faith. I didn't get my faith by somebody lecturing me or somebody telling me I should. I got my faith through testing it out myself. Like I said, I was in a life and death situation. I just had the sense of like, you know, I really tried everything here. Like, I really don't know what to do. I'm basically, what I'm just telling you is smart to do is just totally give it to him. And that is an energetic process that takes trust. So sometimes you do have to build trust. Maybe asking for smaller things, or maybe, you know, sometimes when I'm going to the subway here in New York, I'll be like, hey, Jesus, like, can you make sure when I get there, like, I don't have to wait too long for the train, or something small like that. And the train will come and I'll be like, wow. So that builds trust when you do even small things and ask for small things. But when you can give him something big, it's like he can do something big. And within a couple of weeks of me praying that prayer to him, I had a diagnosis and it saved my life. That's why I'm talking to you. So that's where I got my faith from. And the work I do now with energy, like, he's taught me the whole thing. He is the designer of the energy world. He is, you know, oh my God, he's the king, right? Of the universe. We're talking about like the king of England and, you know, wow. But like the king of the universe, like, it's just so damn cool. That's a funny word to use there, but it's so cool. And yeah, so trusting him in the diary. One really cool thing that he said that clicked with me at the time and still is something I think about is that, he said, it's when you trust me that like I'm able to give things to you. And I connected that to the whole idea of law of attraction, because it's all about belief, right? It's all about trust, right? I was just like, wait a second, like these two things are the same thing. So it's like we've all, I mean, it's not possible for us not to be connected to Jesus, not to be working with Jesus, even if we think that we're not. Like, he's just like he created us. He created everything. Like, he's in every fiber of everything ever. So like, it's just smart for you to, and all of us to like get open to that and to have those personal experiences, to build trust in a personal way, to literally ask for something and watch what happens. Let him show you, like, he's capable. Let him show you who he is. And I swear every single day I'm surprised more and more, because again, on earth, we have these narratives about Jesus and who Jesus is and all kinds of things that we cling to. And some of that is fearful, you know. The truth about him, he's just the coolest. Think of it, just the best person that you know. Even better than that. And knows you very personally and wants to help you very personally. And is constantly reaching out to you, like unfathomably, just constantly reaching out to you, wanting to help. And he will. And it's a practice to do these energetic practices, to, you know, practice bringing something to him and feel yourself really kind of like throwing it up to him energetically. You can imagine doing that. And that's actually something I saw once. I'm just remembering that if you can take something that you really want and almost like throw it like a baseball, like he always catches it. He always. But again, I'm speaking the best I can about this, but let him show you. He's the one who can show you. And I think the overall message I want to give is like, yeah, the more you trust him, the more he gives to you, and you deserve that. You deserve to personally resurrect and in this lifetime into the version of you that you know you really are, to let go of all the negativity of the past. This is a process that he has taught me about, that he helps me facilitate in people. And he taught me how to literally combine physically in the energy world, positive frequencies. And he's given me a lot of creativity with this. Well, just one of my favorites is the blood of Christ. Also, I use the water. I use the two, the rays, but I use them in a very physical way, like actual water, but it's the water that flowed from him. And I just did a session on myself for like the past hour using those two energetic substances, and they clear so much. I feel my physical body like in real time reacting, letting go of tension, letting go of, the energy that I could feel could cause illness, and even still recovering from the Lyme disease that my body was holding. This is something, it is miraculous, and it's just something he taught me how to do and to make really practical and accessible to people. To turn into a business. Why not have a business like that in the world? I think it's pretty phenomenal. To teach about energy too, and to use my gifts. I'm a writer, I'm a performer. I'm using all of those things. I'm trained in journalism. I have a journalism degree. Like, I'm using all these things to create something that never has existed before, which is Energy Queen Alchemy, which is a process that I not only do, but I can teach. I'm actually starting a new round of energy school on January 13th. So if you're interested in learning how to do this, I can teach you how to see energy and clear negative energy in an instant. The funny thing about that, like, I know I'm talking a lot about Jesus, but I don't force my students to believe anything in particular, because I know I can't make you believe anything. But I am transparent about where this work comes from, how I do it, what I think works best. And again, it's a personal experience for you to find what really speaks to you, because we all have such different purposes in the world as well. That's for another video. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about. And so my work now is about helping people create something I call a personal resurrection, where it's like what I told you, you were like here and now you're there. And let's make that fast. Let's make that accessible to you. Let's make that easy. Let's not make it so you have to spend 10 more years suffering and trying to heal. Let's kind of just like use that snap moment resurrection energy and get you faster into the place that you want to be. I've healed people physically. I've healed back pain. I have healed mental illness. I have helped Hashimoto's. I have actually healed people physically with this process. Somebody in the Philippines had like a bacteria, or I saw it as an energetic bacteria, but she was not able to breathe very well. And she went to doctors and got x-rays for years and years and years. She did 3 sessions with me. And on the first session, I healed it, or the process healed it, which really is connected to Jesus. You can say Jesus healed it, but it was healed, and it still has been healed. That was like, how many years ago? 4 years ago. She's doing really well now. She has an Airbnb business in Philippines and is doing really well. Every time I see her on the internet, she's doing amazing. And yeah, once negative energy cleared, it's always cleared. And yeah, so the resurrection like that, if there's something that is negative for you, there is, this makes it accessible for you to have that fresh start that you're looking for. And it could be emotional baggage. It could be trauma. I love working with trauma and helping people get clear from those things. Because where is that? It's just in your energy. That can clear. Heartbreak, physical symptoms, whatever it is. Like, it's just the deepest level of you is energy. So that can clear. And why the resurrection is such a big part of this is not just my work, but your journey, is because we don't want it to take a long time. I don't want it to take a long time. I don't know about you. I think that we all want it to be pretty damn fast, right? So the fastest is the resurrective energy. It just is. And that's something that, again, you can connect to. I know that Jesus, I believe that he puts me in front of certain people to help them. And I know that I've been a key pivotal person for a lot of people. I had to go through a lot of training, I'll be honest. Like, might not have been at like Harvard, but it was like with Jesus as my tutor. So like, it's been intense, you know, for the past 5-6 years for me. So it's something I'm proud of, and he gave it to me. I'm proud. I'm proud to represent him. I'm proud to talk about him. I'm proud to talk about this energy, and to help dissolve a lot of walls that we build up as humans that don't help us, keeping him out, or even people who are really into Jesus keeping energy work out. People who think that you can't have a business about these things. Oh, it can't be like, you can't make money from this. Well, you know, like, what if we just let everything coexist? Because that's what it's like in the energy world. They don't have barriers like we create out of fear. So that's what Energy Queen's about. It's about like creating something that might feel strange or triggering to some people because there isn't anything like that out there. But I think that makes it even more special because it's something that is an opportunity that you don't find a lot of places, you know, to be able to be healed by resurrective energy through an expert who is trained in that. Pretty cool. Also, you can learn how to do it. That's a pretty cool opportunity. I don't know where else you can do that. Getting miraculous healing, that's pretty cool. It's like, we have to be honest with ourselves, like, because I just think it's the coolest thing, you know, to be able to have a business like that and to be able to thrive in the physical world and help people in this way. And he's been the person who's trained me how to set it all up. And he's let me have a lot of creativity and tells me to trust myself all the time. That's what I feel. And just help people, like, just go in the world and help people. And that's why I'm even doing this channel. It's like, I know that there are people out there who would love to hear these things. And even if it's just one thing I said that sparks something in you, it's like, that's worth it, right? Like what if you see something really differently? What if something happens for you because of this? What if your whole life changes? And I'll end on that. Like, the resurrective energy is like that. It's not about wasting our time anymore and wasting, when, you know, you talk about money, like wasting so much money on other, like the girl I helped in the Philippines, like how expensive that can be to try to get answers in other ways. And then sometimes people judge me for having a business doing this. Well, you know, think of all the people who got lots of money from her who didn't even help her, right? And like, having a business takes a lot of work. It's not just the healing part, it's a lot of other things. So I trust what I'm told, and I hold on to that. I know that even if people are judgmental, and I hope that helps you to hear for yourself as well, even if people on earth judge you for certain things, like, it doesn't matter if you're right with God. It doesn't matter, because he's the smartest one. And if you feel like you're okay with him, then it's okay. You got to trust that. So anyway, if you'd like to hear more about anything I've talked about, I know I've talked about a lot of stuff and it's been different from the things I've said so far, but I think that, like, this is a point, kind of a pivotal point, where why hide any of this, or why not talk about it? People will have their own reactions, and it's just, to me, it's just like, I think the best I can do and the best we can all do is just to be as straightforward and honest as possible. And to have open minds, to have just an open mind for each other, as humans, the humans that we are with the gifts that we have, trying to help each other, here for each other, and doing our best. And yeah, so on that note, yeah, Energy School is starting January 13th. It's an 8-month program. You can email me. I'll put my email in the comments. I also have a new feminine energy activating program talking about the Holy Spirit starting this month. That's a one-on-one program. You can book for 3 months with me. And I also have a new program called New Year, New Start. And that is an intro to Energy Queen Alchemy if you are interested in this. And you would like some sessions. It's 5 sessions for $555 US, and you can get 25% off in honor of the new year 2025 until January 7th, which I know is coming up soon, in like 2 days. But if you see this before then I will honor that for you. And you can book a free consult with me. I'll put my link in the description. Thank you for having an open mind and watching this, especially if you watched all the way to the end. If you did, then you're hearing about, the 25% off deal, which I haven't put everywhere. Yeah, make sure you mention that to me if you book a free consult. And I just hope that you can feel that my earnestness, that my intention is to just help as many people as possible. And these are truly the things that have helped me. And I love the work that I do. There's just so much to talk about, and to bring all these worlds together, the physical world we live in and all the needs that we have in this world, all the dreams and desires that you have for yourself, and the energy world and Jesus and the resurrection and your personal resurrection. And it's just all really, really cool. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.